York is busy, it's crazy, but it's lively, it's culture, it's people in your face. I love getting food late at night. I love late night delis. I like my life a lot in New York, and I love it actually, but there's prejudice that I see all the time, just individual prejudice, but then I also see all the structural problems of living in a place like New York City.
So even moving to a country in Africa would be an alternative?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, hi, Bengt. Good to see you.
Blaxit to me means sort of that there are significant numbers of African Americans who are leaving the United States. We've been told that there's certain paths to opportunity that exist in the United States, and that hasn't always borne out, especially if you're African American. And we're seeing people sort of say, okay, well, where else could I be going? You know?
How much would prejudice and intolerance play a part in a decision like this?
I think somewhat. I mean, I feel like as a Black American, it's just a part of our daily lives. And in a way, it's kind of like, it's hard to imagine how it wouldn't be. Like how I wouldn't live in a place where I wouldn't have to worry about, you know, cops harassing you because you're Black, stopping because you're Black, or people following you in stores because you're Black, or the violence associated with that. I mean, and pretty much I think the African continent is one of the few places where, like, while there are its own issues and problems in certain places, that is not a problem. So, yeah, it would be an amazing difference, actually.
Ashley Lawrence Sanders ska snart doktorera i afroamerikansk historia. Men framtiden för svarta amerikaner i USA är kanske viktigare och mer pressande för många här idag.
I've noticed, I don't know the numbers, but I noticed anecdotally that there are significant numbers of African Americans who are leaving the United States for work opportunities, exhaustion with the United States, politics and racial dynamics, change of scenery. I do think it's a real phenomenon. I think we're going to see it increase in the next 10 years or so.
Drömmen om Amerika lever fortfarande för väldigt många människor, men inte för alla. En del vill faktiskt härifrån. Söker alternativ. Stormakter kan ju tappa i betydelse och plötsligt försvinna. Möjligheterna för vanligt folk kanske finns någon annanstans istället. Och så kan Afrika också bli ett alternativ. Kigali. Som en modern huvudstad nästan var som helst i världen. Folk landar här i Rwanda och många kan säkert känna sig hemma nästan direkt. För det är nämligen så att alla vill inte lämna Afrika för att få ett bättre liv någon annanstans. Det finns också de som vill hit för att få ett bättre liv. Det gäller inte minst svarta amerikaner, afroamerikaner.
I've been here for 5 years. And life here is convenient, it's predictable, and it's very organized, and it's fulfilling in its own way.
Då ska vi se, det måste vara här, den blåa, sa hon. Blåa dörren. Inga motorcyklar i vägen. Just det, så här skulle det se ut, sa hon. Okej. Hi.
Hello, hi.
Janetta.
Nice to meet you. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Bengt.
Janetta, nice to meet you.
Well,
Welcome to my home.
so this is where you live, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it used to look like a traditional kind of Rwandan home, and there were a lot of hallways, and it's very dark. So I guess since we knew we were going to be staying here for a little while, we wanted to change it to something that we thought was more functional. So we kind of extended it. So this used to be the end of the house. It's now out here.
Yeah.
And we knocked down all the hallways and the walls and made the kitchen open. So when Dennis does the cooking, because I don't do it,
Yeah.
I can be here, and then our daughter can play around, and we can have like a really open, nice living space.
It's like a cool apartment in New York, right?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Where you lived?
Yeah. So coming from New York, it's like this kind of Soho kind of feel, and
And the step from New York to here isn't that big then?
yeah, exactly.
Så juristen Janetta bytte statusjobbet på advokatbyrån i New York och blev egen företagare i Rwanda. Här träffade hon sin man och de har startat ett gym.
The big heavy tires, those are for lifting.
Okay.
If you can. So welcome, this is Waka.
Your gym?
Yeah, it is.
Great.
One of the most important gains that I've had is having opened up this world of possibility in terms of being an entrepreneur. What I'm capable of, things that I'd never considered in the US. Welcome everyone to the Waka Warriors class. This is Dennis's class, and I'm going to help him out today.
Janetta och Dennis, som är från Danmark, hade lätt att få arbetstillstånd för flera år framåt. De investerade ju och skapade jobb i Rwanda, i det nya Afrika.
Let's do 10. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, cities in Africa are very similar to cities in a lot of other places. I think often in Western media, they're choosing rural areas to shoot, or there's pandemics or crises that they're showing, and rarely are they showing the cities.
Statistiken är osäker om antalet afroamerikaner i Afrika, men Ghana till exempel välkomnar alla med afrikanskt påbrå, och enligt mediekällor har närmare 5 000 emigrerat dit. Och i sociala medier syns många unga svarta amerikaner som ser möjligheter i det nya Afrika. Det Afrika som också lockar den som vill slippa den där känslan av ett konstant underläge.
Hey, Javine. Hey, Alexia. What's going on? You look overwhelmed and confused. The trainer schedule. But I thought they were just going to do days. Always the feeling of less than instead of more than. And I think you're taught to kind of think about yourself as less than, because this idea of working twice as hard, well, where did you start? You started from less than. So I'm really glad that I've let a lot of that go. And it's really interesting what it can do to you if you see that everyone around you looks like you, and everyone that you deal with in power situations or that have the power in the society look like you. That's a lot of positive reinforcement that I'm sure that's what it must feel like to be white in the US, and think if you're a young white boy that you can be like Donald Trump because you see that he looks like you.
Nu är du här också, Dennis. Och du är i minoritet. Kan man jämföra med Janetta i USA?
Nej, man kan ikke sammenligne det. Og det handler ikke om at være en minoritet. Det er slet ikke omkring at være minoritet. For jeg er minoritet her, men jeg er stadigvæk en af de mest privilegerede mennesker. Ikke nok er jeg hvid, men jeg er også en hvid mand. Jeg troede, at da jeg levede i Danmark, at danskere, at vi var meget åbne, at vi ikke var racistiske. Men det er først nu, jeg forstår ved at være sammen med Jeanette, at der er et system bag racisme.
Vi följer med Ashley hem till maken Zach och 4-åriga Corinne. Zach är advokat och hans klienter är invandrare som hotas av utvisning.
The US is a much less welcoming place, and people's rights are not as protected. And when you have the kind of leadership we have right now, where there's so much fear and hatred coming from people in positions of power, it makes traveling or living abroad look a lot more attractive.
Does this worry you or does it make you upset?
Yeah, it makes me furious. It's incredible and really distressing.
Men en flytt till Afrika innebär också mindre demokrati, som begränsad yttrandefrihet till exempel.
You have that on a smaller level here.
We're under constant surveillance.
Yeah, activists are being targeted and jailed here like they haven't ever before in my adult lifetime.
The media is under attack constantly.
Yeah.
From the highest office. I mean,
That's
you
right.
say freedom of press, and you have the president getting on Twitter every day calling major news organizations fake news and then instigating sort of fringe people to attack news media organizations and not believe the press when they report on facts. So, yeah, I would say those principles are under attack here as well.
Yeah, they certainly are.
Samtidigt, USA är ett land med resurser för den som har möjlighet att utnyttja dem.
I have about a year left working on my dissertation. So we're coming up on the New York Public Library. I do a lot of work here during the week. It's one of my favorite places in the city to do work. I think the United States' cultural value and presence is still very strong, but economically, I don't see how we continue to call ourselves a superpower considering the state of our own citizens. And, you know, we can't say that our citizens live a better life than anybody else on earth. That's absolutely not true by any metric. It's people are struggling from healthcare to jobs, housing. We have an opioid epidemic that's out of control. And the United States' cultural presence, I think, has sort of covered its decline in other areas.
Vi ringer upp Ulysses Burley, läkare i Chicago.
Hello.
Han myntade begreppet Blaxit som en skämtsam anspelning på Brexit. Men skämtet blev allvar efter Trumps valseger.
What would it look like if African Americans, if Black Americans had a mass exodus out of the United States to somewhere else where we were more appreciated, more valued, and where our lives were counted equally?
Do you see this happening at all?
I don't believe that there has been what I could call a mass exodus of African Americans from the United States. I do believe it's something that we are more strongly considering now, considering our political climate and things that have transpired over the last year.
Kigali, there are times when a road or a roundabout comes up overnight and things are just building and developing so rapidly. And I love being able to see that. And there's something nice about being able to be part of something that's growing and developing and changing. Things in my hometown are still the same as before. I teach dance, ballet, and some other forms, hip-hop, as well as music. I play the violin, so I teach violin lessons and I play as part of an orchestra. I have just as full a life here as I would in the US. I don't feel really anything significant that I'm missing that would make me want to go back.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm Bengt.
Lauren.
Nice to be here.
Welcome to Kigali.
To Kigali, eh? Your hometown now.
Yes, it sure is.
Yeah. How does it feel?
Feels good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're settled?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And now, what are you going to do here? What's happening?
We have a rehearsal tonight to get ready for the concert. We're a bunch of musicians from different places, students from here, that all come together just because we want to play and be able to produce a concert, which is really great because I never thought I would get to do that here, actually. When I first came, I didn't even bring my violin with me because I thought, oh, I won't get to play it. And now I play it all the time, so that's really good.
All right, so fine measure, what did I say? 102. 102. Start right there.
Now that people are having these issues with racial inequality and all of those struggles, you start to look at different options and what can I do and where are other opportunities for me. And so if we can get the word out to say that this is a great place to live, and if you're looking to do something new or become an entrepreneur or do something, Africa is a great place to come. I think people would be more open to doing it.
Jag är en entreprenör som Janetta ser möjligheter här.
And really great views, of course, of the hills.
Deras gym ska expandera rejält.
So
this is your space.
this is it.
Wow.
It is massive.
Yeah.
We want this to be the gym half. Part of it, like a massive part of it, to the end will be a classroom. This area will be like the desk area. And then we'll have private offices that also go over here. The reception is going to be there. So, yeah, it's very exciting and very daunting. Yeah. I think I could go back home and do it, but there is something about the challenge of doing it here and the getting caught up in this the dynamism of what's going on in Africa that's way more exciting. And here in Rwanda, it's stable, and that stability is a strong part of their brand. So I'd love to be part of Rwanda's story.
Här står i alla fall fiolen. Ja, hundar. Nu får du gå in här, stänger vi för hundarna. Hello. So you're Lionel, huh? Hi, I'm Bengt.
Lionel, nice to meet you.
Pleased to meet you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. That's a nice photo, huh?
Thank you.
And we're going out tonight.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You happy about that? It's good?
Yeah.
Good. Lauren is preparing herself? Okay, good. Lionel jobbar på en bank och spelar basket i Rwandas landslag. Lauren och Lionel har just gift sig borgerligt, men de ska gifta sig 2 gånger till innan äktenskapet mellan Afrika och Amerika är erkänt av alla parter.
I'm still holding on to the dream. You know how it is.
Janetta ansluter på klubben för att höra det senaste. 1 out of 3 marriages. 3 times.
Right? Round 1.
3 times, huh?
What? Oh, you
We
mean?
just had the civil one.
Oh, and you're gonna have the Gusaba, and
Yeah.
are you doing anything in the U.S. or you just?
We'll
gonna...
have the church one in the U.S.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. He could get
so
the
it just
visa to go
actually
there.
happened, like it had
Yeah.
just. Okay, all right, okay.
Just
cool.
in December.
What is it like to hang out here? Compare now to Chicago and New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's okay. Like I think it's like, yeah, it's fine and
Enough.
it's yeah.
The truth.
Okay. I think that like this is my life right now, and whatever it is, it's enough for me right now, and I'm gonna try to make the most out of it in any way I can. So, yeah, like it is enough for me right now, and it's enough for me to like build off of and like make some really cool and amazing things happen.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Like as a building point, I don't
Yeah.
think anywhere I lived I'd be
Yeah.
like, this is enough. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like there's always something you're striving for and building
Yeah.
on. But I find it a little easier to build here
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
kind of figure things out. So it was a good place to be when I
Yeah.
was like not really sure what I was doing. It
Yeah.
gave me the space to grow and
Yeah.
kind of figure that out. So
Yeah.
that's kind of an advantage.
Lauren came here from Chicago and you met, you fell in love, and she wants to stay here. Have you ever thought of, hey, why didn't we go together to the US? That's a dream for many people
Yeah.
in Rwanda and in many places in the world.
I used to have that when I was too young. Like I wanted to go play ball in US, but
Yeah.
I didn't get that chance. I had my teammates who went there, but I didn't get that chance. But now I'm getting too old, so I'm just focusing on other things, my family and my wife.
Ja, Kigali har ett nattliv också. Inte det livligaste kanske, det är lite försiktigare här. Det här är inte en demokrati i västerländsk mening. Man tänker innan man talar.
I miss the city. I miss the energy. And going back to the freedom of speech thing, I will say freedom of expression and freedom of speech go together. And I think if those things, if there's even a perception by people that that could be slightly suppressed, I think it has an incredible impact on like how a place feels and the culture and the art. If people felt that things were more free, maybe this place would feel a lot more like New York.
Men det finns de som tänjer gränserna här också.
My words and my actions are lost in translations. I know you cannot see through the crack yet. I'm coming out with a black belt. The system is about to crumble. Rise, Africa, planet of the apes. I'm proud to be your Caesar. If time is a female, well, I'm about a Caesar.
What art does, it portrays life, right? And it asks questions. And there's so many questions that cannot, not that cannot be, but that don't want to be asked or answered today. Because we're not educated to accommodate different opinions. So even an art asking questions could be a problem itself in the sense that the viewers might take it as some sort of offensive expression.
Folkmordet 1994, då 70% av landets Tutsi-befolkning mördades, präglar det moderna Rwanda. President Paul Kagames politik går ut på att skapa välfärd och undvika nya konflikter mellan hutuer och tutsier. Kagame är enormt populär och personifierar slutet på folkmordet och början på försoningen. Och så länge ekonomin växer lär han fortsätta leda landet in i framtiden. Men att ifrågasätta hans politik är riskfyllt. Därför finns egentligen ingen opposition.
It's very complex being in Rwanda. There are many limits, but you have to know where they are in your head.
I speak truth to power. I'm not a pleaser. What did you think this shit was? I am hip hop.
Rwandese are, from way back in terms of control, Rwandans have always been taught and led to be controlled. Whatever comes from the president's mouth, it becomes like a law. And if you defy it, then who are you, you know?
Så säkerheten och den allmänna sjukförsäkringen till exempel är för många viktigare än lyxen att säga vad man vill. Den arabiska våren avskräcker, liksom våldet i USA.
The environment for young black children is not great at this time. And I've said before, if I had a son, I would feel safer with him living here than there.
Right now, as a parent, I don't know if it seems very attractive to me for a number of reasons. Not just Trump, but child care costs and healthcare costs and safety in some places.
More secure to grow up here, maybe?
Yeah, it's actually more safe here than, like, there's more robberies in my neighborhood that I live in Brooklyn and then in this neighborhood in Kigali. So that is just, I mean, would blow people's minds if I told them that. And I love to tell them that kind of thing and just disrupt that image that they have of me out in the hut and with the lion and the tigers and whatever.
The jungle is there, not here.
Yeah, exactly. Very much so in some places, yeah.
Babo, kan du komma och hjälpa mig?
And what about freedom of expression?
I don't think it matters. I used to, and it's not completely true. I think it is very important. However, if I had to look at a pyramid of the things that are crucial for people to be happy and to be safe and to have food on the table every day, freedom of speech is not the main one.
I think it's true though, like you have to be like much more careful about what you say to whom, because you don't know what their thoughts on an affiliate, and that way, like, there is a lot of self-censorship that I'm not just particularly used to compared to the United States.
There may be many small things that aren't working, right? But as long as we see that the 80% of the important stuff here is still developing in the right direction, we have to be supportive of that.
I don't really think there's any excuse in the United States for certain of the things, basic rights like education and healthcare, for why they don't exist, especially, you know, the attempts to kind of rescind Obamacare. It's just really ironic that at the same time here, they're discussing on how to make it better, the healthcare, because it's not perfect here, but how to make it better. And a poor country with very limited resources has found a way to make it work. It tells you about the values that society has and how they value different things, and I think really ultimately human beings more than we value in the US.